What's good, y'all? It's the White Shadow Norway back at you again with part 2 in my Groove Records Top 20 Disco Imports collection. This time I'm going to do the album. I'm not going to do the rest of the 12-inch singles. No, sir, I'm not going to give away all the gems. You're going to have to dig a little yourself. That was the band AKA with the classic Grace album. Men of the Music, also by band AKA. Not as great as the first one, but there's some jams on it. Steve Arrington's Hall of Fame one. That's Steve Arrington from Slave. I got a couple of goodies on that. Weak at the Knees and Nobody Can Be You But You is the biggest classic there. The Mighty Roy Ayers, one of his many great albums called Feeling Good, with the classic jazzy, funky Turn Me Loose on it. Next up, let's see what we got here. We got the Bar Case, Night Cruising, the album, the great title track there. The whole album is kind of on a Rick James vibe. This was the follow-up, Propositions. Yeah, that's what I call Propositions. Bar Case album in the house. On the Groove Imports with the White Shadow Norway. Angela Buffield, produced by Nard and Michael Walden. The album Too Tough and the hit single of the same name from that one. Pretty good. Next up, more Brass Construction, Attitudes, the album. Also got some goodies on it, some vocoder and stuff too. On this one too, called Conversations, that followed up the last one. Brass Construction, yes. What we got next? We got Tom Brown, the follow-up album to Funkin' for Jamaica, album called Magic with the classic Ties High on it. That's a great funk track, as well as some good jazz numbers on that. More electro funk with Taron Bronson. I showed you the 12-inch of Sticky Situation on the last video. That's the album. It's also got the classic electro jam, The Smurf. Bringing it more soulful with the next album called Changes from Mr. Kenny Burke, and of course the evergreen Keep Rising to the Top. Let me see if I can get a little more light there. It's later in the day when I film this, so the light isn't as great as on the other one, but you probably see it. That one, I won't just give it away. Not super rare, but it's good. I won't show you everything. Cameo, they got a lot of great albums too. This probably their funkiest, called Alligator Woman with the great Flirt on it, and on the cover as well. Central Line from the UK, but on the imports for the Larry LeBon remix of the classic Walking Into Sunshine, one of my all-time favorites, that one. Next up, we got the Chai Lights. I showed you the bottoms up 12-inch in the last video, and this is the album, and it's got more badass jams on it. Talking about heavy funk, Chocolate Milk, Friction, the album. The song Who's Getting It Now is also on 12-inch remixes and sampled a lot in house music. Gwen McRae and Funky Sensation, awesome down-tempo heavy funk track there, also sampled and remade in hip-hop, and that's the follow-up album from Gwen called On My Way with the great Keep the Fire Burning as the opening track. Next, Crown Heights Affair struck gold, and they did, but it's really slept on album, but with a lot of good jams on it. Kind of different funk album, but I like it. On the Light Records out of New York, USA. Das Band, another of the great funk bands there with a lot of good albums. Keep It Live on the KIL was the one on the imports, and also the classic Let It Whip was on there. This is one of the absolute best boogie funk albums of all time from D-Train. You're the One For Me. Every track is great. Might just be the best boogie album of the early 80s, that one I won't show you. Some are for the people in the know, you know. If you see a little of the cover and you know, then you're in the know. Fatback Band, another classic funk band there with On The Floor. One of their funkiest, definitely, and so is the follow-up. This one is This The Future. Heavy on the synth bass funk on several tracks on that one, including the title track. What do we got here? See if I can get some more out there. Yeah, we got the Gap Band album 3 with the classic Burn a Rubber on Me, and also the funky Humpin' on that one there. One of the Gap Band's greatest, definitely, from 1981, I believe. That one, I don't know if I can show it on YouTube, man. Too much nudity. That one is for the connoisseurs. If you know it, you know it. This one might be too much nudity as well, but it'll probably pass. High Gloss with the classic slow burner You'll Never Know. That was a huge track back in the day. In nightclubs all over the world, actually. Pull this one out. Imagination's debut album, Body Talker, from the UK, but was played a lot on the import show. I waited in line 2 hours at the local store to be able to buy that one. I could have made them just put it aside, but no, I had to have it, so I waited. Anyway, special import sticker back there. Ingram's album with a great smoothing grooving on it called Would You Like to Fly? Great soulful funky disco there. Instant Funk, another of the legendary big funk bands there. No Stopping That Rockin' was a vocoder funk cut that Tony used to play on the Groove imports. Here we got Rick James and the follow-up to Street Songs. Not quite as good as that one, but it's got some great funk on it, like Money Talks and Dance With Me, album called Throwin' Down for Mr. Rick James, rest in power. Next up, the Mighty Jones Girls, really great soulful track classic on this one called Nights Over Egypt, of course. Love it on Philadelphia International Records. That's the follow-up album called On Target. It's okay by the Jones Girls. This one I'll keep for those in the know, and that one as well. If you know and you see a little of the covers, you can figure out what it is, right? That's the fun of digging. Anyway, Evelyn Champagne King and a classic I'm in Love. I got that on 12-inch too. That's one of the songs I played most in nightclubs over the years as well. I'm in Love, it's great, it's classic. And the equally good album Get Loose by Evelyn King as well. Also really great. Yeah, I won't show everything here. I'll just go through a couple that are alright and put them back in. This is Links from the UK. It's kind of a compilation album featuring Intuition, So This Is Romance, and a great remix of Your Lion. Definitely the best cut on that one, but yeah, it's got their big hits on it. Great UK funk band there. Yeah, this one, not rare, but for the connoisseurs. Anyway, this is Tony Maria with a bit of Latin jazz, laid back track called Come With Me. I think it was Come To Me, Come With Me, Come With Me Now. Yeah, great one, laid back, just mellow, breezy, chill music. Here we got Modern Romance from the UK. They had a bunch of hits like Can You Move and oh man, I forgot Everybody Salsa and Queen of the Rapping Scene. A lot of goodies there. What next? We got Melba Moore with a classic Love Come Down. That was number 1 on the Groove Records import charts from Tony Prince as well. This is the classic sampled by Biggie Smalls, of course, for Juicy on his first album, the album Juicy Fruit by M. Tomei. But there's other jams on that are equally good, if not better. But Juicy Fruit, the song, is the classic. Mystic Merlin Band with the awesome Mr. Magician on it. It's been a while since I played that in the DJ set. I gotta play that again soon, man. I love that laid back kind of chill funk. A couple of others that are not that well known. They're okay. Oh yeah, this is the first time I heard Prince ever with the song Controversy, also from the album Controversy. That's the one he used to play on the Groove imports. Then I think this was Prince's 3rd album, correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, still one of my favorites there. Some soulful mellow stuff by Harry Ray. It's Good to Be Home, the album with the classic Love Is a Game on it. Beautiful track. Sharon Red Hot album with the classic Beat the Street, of course. I also got on 12-inch. Nile Rodgers from Chicken Adventures in the Land of the Good Groove. Yum Yum is the track they used to play on the imports. And this one, a friend of mine and I went to the UK once and he found it. I didn't have it yet and I was crazy about it. Roger Troutman from Sap and the Manifestants of Roger. And I was all over London and I couldn't find a copy. This was way before the internet, so it wasn't that easy to get old records. But when I did eventually find it, I found 200 copies at the second-hand store in Oslo. You probably should have seen my face then. Anyway, Jump Street album by Rolls Royce with Rolls Royce Express on it. That's actually longer on the album than on 12-inch. A couple of Shalimar albums in that. Big Fun and Friends, classic disco group there, Shalimar. Putting that back in. Another of my favorite boogie bands of all time. There's Starpoint, one of their great albums called Keep On It, and another one called All Night Long. Another great one is Wanting You, that I for some reason never have managed to cop on vinyl. But yeah, Starpoint, great man. See what we got here, A Taste of Honey, Ladies of the 80s, Shown Up, and the great Sayonara is the best track on that one. Put that one back in there. Let me see that one too. You probably know what it is though. Some goodies on them. We got the Whispers. Yeah, that's another big funk boogie band there. The track In the Raw was played on the imports from that one. This one is mostly ballads called Love on Love. It's by the Whispers, Love for Love, but it's got a couple of tempo burners like Tonight on it. That's good. A couple I'll keep to myself. For the funk connoisseurs out there, more heavy funk here from Roger Troutman and Sapto, their follow-up album to the first one with more bounce to the ounce, Sap 2, with dance floor on it. And sorry, I got a couple of compilations there in the end. And that's about it. I'm the White Shadow Norway, and this was the second and final Groove Records video. So I am out. Peace.